please subscribe to the channel. If you are not subscribed to videos, make sure you hit the notification bell so that you are alerted when I do go live or when I upload content. Check out my other features on this page, like my artistry channel at That Girl Shanda, where I do original spoken word, original songs that I wrote and I sing and perform on the page, and my original musical compositions. I also sing other artists' cover songs over there too. I have my One Lake Real Estate channel. I have a lot of links in my profile that leads to other content that I've created, which just shows different layers of me. Yeah, subscribe, guys, like, all that good stuff. So, I think this is my third attempt to go live today. The first time I had to stop because, well, I was helping a customer, but then the screen kind of froze too. The second time, I just wasn't feeling it, and this is the third attempt. Hi, how can I help you?
Excuse me, this is
110, check out?
Yeah, check out this 11. Sorry, I got it on the frequency. I see the charger wrong.
Yeah, they were cleaning the room.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Today is was checkout.
Yeah, 11 is
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I saw the right there.
Huh?
Sorry, man, you will pick up traductor.
Am I what?
The speaking before.
Un poquito español.
Creo que le tengo un cargador en la habitación.
So, una noche.
Yeah.
En la habitación 110.
Sí.
Okay.
Sorry.
No.
Me tuve que ir de emergencia, por eso ya no traje ese.
Okay.
Sí.
Okay. Y'all hold on. Okay. So, let me see. Okay. Let me see where you were. Su nombre?
Minor Ramirez.
Okay. 70, 20. Alright. Gracias. Su número de teléfono? Sí. Alright, so let's see. Sí. Okay, so. Oh, let me go here, go 110. Okay. Oh, gracias. All right. Oh, okay. Let's see. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Esa loca. Okay, let me see. So no una cama.
Yes, una cama.
No una cama. Ahora. What happened?
I don't send the maybe in the comments. I don't know. Let me see.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I come back maybe.
The number here?
Fíjese que yo creo que dejé un cargador en la habitación. Fíjese que yo creo que dejé un cargador en la habitación. Ahorita me tocó que salir de emergencia y cuando ya venía de regreso comencé a buscar el cargador de la casa y no lo encontré. Pero
¿Es el teléfono?
Es un cargador de teléfono.
He said that he left his phone, charger phone
Okay.
in the room.
Anything else?
¿Algo más que dejaste?
No, nomás es. Pero ahí le estoy dejando mi número por si le encuentra que me marca.
Let me see.
He gave his number just in case you guys find it. So.
Okay. And it was.
Sí, porque a lo mejor se quedó en la casa, no estoy muy seguro también. Así que lo chequeo eso. Definitivamente le conocen a la Ok, dígale que me era el 5 días.
¿Es ese?
No, es un blanco, es
Blanco,
cargador negro.
All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. So 805-921-5492 white phone charger, room 110. All right, and then room 110. Okay, let's check out was today. Okay.
Okay,
Book off.
thank you.
All right, gracias. Hi, how can I help you?
Do you have our rooms? Available?
The only rooms we have available are queen beds.
That's fine.
That's fine? Okay, did you want to be in the front here?
Doesn't matter.
Or no? Okay.
Doesn't matter.
All right, no worries.
Hey, your Spanish is pretty good.
My Spanish pretty good?
Yeah.
It's okay. Whenever anyone asks me, I just say, when they say, do you know Spanish? I say un poquito because I don't want anybody to have too much expectations. And then when I get into it, they say, oh, you're pretty good.
At least you try. Some people, they don't even want to try to say any words. Nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm confident that if I was ever to get lost anywhere in a Spanish country, I would be absolutely fine. As long as I can read it. Yeah, I read it better than I speak it. But I still speak it. Okay, so, all right, non-smoking, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's showing, let me see. Let's do the new queens. It's showing 89. The tax brings it to 101.37. But then, you know, I know. Well, what time is it? Is it, let me see what time. By 2 p.m. you don't.
I always come here.
Yeah, and they don't make you pay the early check. Who doesn't charge you?
Someday he was I don't know if he's the owner. He was
Manager?
Or manager. He was kind of an old man.
Mhm.
Maybe around 65.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, just need $100 go here to the key. That was it.
Really?
Yeah. He didn't even check it. Nothing. And he told me, it's no longer yours. I'm not going to be in no. I'm not going to be in no.
I was able to bring it down to fit in. I was able to bring it down to fit in the 109.73.
Yes.
Yeah, because with the it would have been one. Yeah, because with the it would have been 130 something. Just so they gotta ding me on. You didn't get there early, I can't. To get me in trouble. To get me in trouble. No, not. I'm sorry. Hi. I'll help you. No worries. Okay, there's a pen. I'll help you. No worries. Okay, there's a pen. And 27. And just sign
No.
and the date. 1/4/25.
I know how to do a curve.
Where did I just put you? Oh, never mind.
Then I'll try to.
All right, and there's your key.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. All right. All
I
right.
saw you Wendy's, but you didn't like look up from your phone or you were like contemplating.
I was creating some content. So when I'm doing that, I'm like in
I
the
know how to
zone.
do a curve. Why am I not kicking my legs up? I'm trying to do a curve.
Oh, I did tell housekeeping about service in your room.
Yeah.
I don't know if they got to it yet, though.
For some reason the key didn't work.
Huh?
For some reason the key wasn't working.
Sometimes it's like resetting the system, but bless you. But you should be fine now. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye, honey. All right. All right. Okay, so what was his? Yeah, give me the $100 and go check in the room. If nobody's in there, it's yours. That is so funny. That was freaking hilarious. I feel like I worked too hard then. This is so funny. 55 plus 1. Okay, that is right. All right. The heck is going on out there? Okay. Okay. Well, I just cleaned now, so let me see. All right. Let's do this. Anywho. Ugh. Anyway, geez, 20 minutes in, and I had to do some other stuff. I don't even remember what I was talking about, but did y'all hear about that that NICU nurse that was recently at the Henrico, Virginia hospital because she's basically been charged with fracturing infants in the NICU. A little boy had a broken leg. Some other kids had broken limbs. This is what I'm trying to understand, y'all. How does it get to that point where you can't even protect your babies in the hospital? Like, how, like, you have to be kind of sick and twisted in the mind to break the bones and the limbs of newborns that just came into the world. Like, you have, like, it's something real demented about that. And I'm not excusing the words I'm using. I'm not sorry about the words I'm using. I'm not, at all. Sick, twisted, demented, foco loco, which means crazy. Like, can you imagine it's time for your spouse to give birth, or it's time for you to give birth, and you go to the hospital and you're so excited about bringing your child into the world, and you go through all of the labor and all of the hours of pushing, or maybe you had a C-section, but you still go through, the whole process of delivering your baby and bringing your baby into the world. And you look forward to the next few days where you get to go home with your child and begin being a parent to your baby and raising your child and stuff, only to discover that before you leave the hospital that your baby has a broken leg. But when your baby was born, all the limbs were intact, only to discover that your baby got a broken arm or a broken collarbone or some type of head injury. So now your baby have to stay in the hospital longer. You can go home, but now you have to go home without your child because a nurse at the facility decided to act out some psychotic form, some type of psychotic action to hurt your child. I'm glad that the lady has been arrested and charged. What's interesting is that they haven't said her name in the news cycle. I don't know why, a lot of people have theories behind why her name hasn't been said yet, but I'm not going to be too upset about it because her face is plastered all over the place. At least they plastered her face all over the place. Kind of like the Marcy Correctional Facility, where they were having a hard time posting the faces and saying the names of all the 14 officers and the one nurse that murdered Robert Brooks, right? But now, people have been on a witch hunt, and they've been finding social media pages and posting their faces all over the place. And now there's a long list of all the names, which I actually have in my possession, which I'm actually going to post on my community tab so everybody can see it. So yeah, it's interesting that they haven't said this nurse's name, but her face is plastered all over the place. So that's fine, as long as her face is seen. As long as her face is seen, that means people who know her or know of her can be able to find her or whatever. Hey.
El 102 no control.
No? Okay. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Huh? Yes.
No, sí está.
Okay. Nada. I hope it works. It looks like it works. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. When I had my twins, my twin baby boy and girl, Winter and Laker, in Nevada, Summerlin. It was Summerlin, actually, Nevada. When I had my twins, I had a C-section, and I didn't want a C-section. I actually wanted to push my babies out because I wanted to experience pushing my kids out. But the doctor told me that it was high risk because it was 2 babies. But I was informed by other people that doctors usually like to use that term to get you to have a C-section because there's more money in the surgery than in actually having the patient push the babies out. And somebody told me, and you're having 2 babies. So it's like you're having, they get to charge you twice. I said, that's so messed up. That's so messed up. But anyway, so my JJ area was saved. I didn't push out any no babies through that area. So they just came out through my belly region through this C-section. But I have to tell y'all, when I had my babies, my now ex, I told my now ex to follow those babies. After they came out my belly, I said, follow those babies wherever they go. I said, leave me here on the operating table. Just leave me. Follow those babies where if those babies leave this room, you follow wherever those babies go. And you watch and you pay attention and you watch everything. So my whole birth of, me giving birth to my twins was recorded. The camera was on the entire time from the time I got into the hospital till after the babies were born. And I wanted it that way on purpose because I wanted to make sure that nobody was going to pull no funny stuff. And, it's not that I didn't trust my doctor, because my doctor was my doctor was good up until she was trying to, push her hand and her entire arm up my hoo-ha. That's when we weren't on great terms, okay? Because I was about to kick her. And she even said, don't you kick me, because she saw my leg getting ready to kick her right in her face. I'm like, if you don't stop, that hurts, okay? So, but it's not that I didn't trust my doctor. But nowadays, you just never know what a person is going to do to your child, because you hear all these stories. You don't know what they're going to do to you. There are, doctors that let patients bleed out, or they nick things and pull things. And, sometimes it's done by accident. Sometimes it's done on purpose. I saw not too long ago a video where this lady was on the operating table, and one of the people in the room, I don't know if he was a physician or if he was just like an assistant, but while she was on the operating table, I'm not sure if they were like doing a C-section so that she could give birth, or if she was having some type of reconstructive surgery. But the assistant or the doctor that was behind the curtain, because they pull the curtain up, like they did the same thing to me. They pulled up the curtain, so you can't see the whole surgery and everything going on. He like undid his pants and put his, okay, how you doing? in the mouth region. And the patient was completely knocked out. So the patient didn't know what was going on. But all of this was recorded. I don't even know who recorded the thing, but someone was like in the back corner watching everything and recording everything. I still don't know who it was, but they recorded what that assistant or that doctor was doing to that lady who was unconscious on the operating table. So he kind of like, I don't know how he got his rocks off, but that's how he did. And then someone leaked the video and it went viral with, what he was doing to that patient on the operating table. So what people do to you when you are not conscious in a room, right? So I think she was having some type of reconstructive surgery or something, because if you're having a C-section, 9 times out of 10, they don't knock you out. They'll just give you like epidural or something like that to numb your body, like from the waist down, but you're still awake, right? Like I was awake. So she had to have been having some type of reconstructive surgery or something. But that doctor or assistant or whoever he was, he pulled down his scrubs and took his penis out and pushed it into the woman's mouth. And she was completely unconscious on the operating table. And you literally saw him grab her head and like massage it, like pushing in and back. And it's on TikTok. The video is on TikTok. I reposted it. So if you're not following me on TikTok, you might want to check my link in this profile on this channel, on this page, because the link, there's a link to my TikTok page at Shanda Strong 21. If you click on that link and you go to my TikTok, I reposted videos. I reposted that video so you would be able to see it, because I was taken aback when I saw that. I said, you just never know what people are doing to you in the hospital these days, conscious while you're conscious and unconscious. But I know when I had my kids, I said, follow those babies wherever they go. And when I was placed into a room, I had my kids with me the entire time. I had my kids with me so much so that the nurses, the NICU nurses, were begging for me to let them have my kids in the NICU. I don't know why, y'all. I kind of felt that was strange. They were begging me to release my kids to the NICU. I said, no. It's like, but aren't you tired? You just gave birth. Don't you want to rest? And da-da-da-da. I said, no, I want my kids with me the whole time. I don't care if I just gave birth. I want my eyes on these babies. And I want to make sure they're okay. That's the only way I'm gonna make sure they're okay, is if they're next to me. And they were next to me. I just didn't play those games. Now I know that in some cases, some babies have to go to the NICU, right? Because maybe there's some sickness there. You know what I mean? Some babies are born premature. Some babies are born with ailments. Some babies just have to be in the NICU and they need assistance by nurses and stuff, right? And sometimes parents are just tired, right? They're tired and they want a break, so they allow the nurses to take their babies to the NICU. I didn't give a damn how tired I was, though. I said, these babies gonna stay right here. I mean, that's mama bear, right? That's mama bear. And so, but even if you do release your babies to the NICU because you're tired and you want to rest, you should still be rest assured in knowing that the hospital that you're paying, the staff that is assisting you, is going to make sure that your kids are okay, right? So the fact that this crazy, deranged, mentally ill psycho of a nurse got into a hospital and started breaking bones of innocent babies. When I listened to that story, y'all, I physically felt sick to my stomach. Like I felt sick to my stomach, because it's like babies, or kids in general, are the most vulnerable in society. And so for people to just mishandle the most vulnerable in society, because they can't speak up for themselves, they can cry, but you can lie. Like people lie on kids all the time. Oh, she didn't mean that, or this didn't happen to her, or she don't remember, or she don't know. That's why a lot of people like to mess with kids, because they feel like they can take advantage of them, they can brainwash them, they can hurt them, they can abuse them, they can do all kinds of things to children. And they think no one will ever know, no one will ever find out. It's pretty sad, actually. So I'm glad that lady is in jail. They placed her on administrative leave, which means that they paid her to be on a leave. I wouldn't have paid her shit. You hurt multiple innocent babies by breaking limbs, all kind of body parts. and you think you're supposed to be on paid leave, I wouldn't have paid a shit. She in jail. What you need money for? Anyway, I'm gonna get off that. And you know what? When people do stuff like that to kids and they get locked up for it, and people on the inside who actually love kids find out what you're in for, find out what you did to innocent kids, they handle you in jail, in prison, I'm sorry. They handle you in prison. So people should really think about stuff like that. When you hurt innocent babies and you get locked up, and the inmates on the inside hear the story about what you did to innocent kids, oh baby, they come for you. Oh yes, they do. They come for you. It's interesting how, some people, they think they get away with stuff if they don't go to jail for it. But you don't have to go to prison to get your karma. It's a lot of ways to get it. But messing with kids, that's like it make you want to strangle somebody when you think about stuff like that, or bash them upside the head or something with a cast iron skillet. I say that a lot because cast iron skillets are really, really heavy, and you know they can do damage. Knock a tooth out, knock a hole in somebody's shit. I'm just saying. I don't like that. I don't like the messing with the kids. I don't like that. That'll get you hurt real quick. Anyway, I'm gonna get off of that because I know where my mind is going just in regards to my situation. Ladies behind bars. Another situation is President-elect Donald Trump. The judge, Juan Machado, Judge Juan Machado, didn't dismiss the charges against Trump in some type of hush money trial or whatever, and he's sentencing him on January 10th. Hey, what you? Huh? Oh, all right, hold on, y'all. All right. All right, hold on. There we go. That doggone key. There we go. Okay. Here you go.
Thank you.
No way. Okay. All right, y'all. So, so President-elect Trump is being sentenced on January 10th, 10 days before the inauguration, the presidential inauguration. So what does that mean, y'all? I'm trying to figure out what does that mean. So the fact that President Trump asked the judge to dismiss the case and the judge said no and denied dismissing the case and told Trump that he can come to court either virtually or in person. He needs to come for his sentencing. How do you sentence a president? Like, is he really going to make the president go to jail? I mean, I know all this stuff took place before, he won the election and everything. But like, if presidents can pardon people, can't they pardon themselves? Can't presidents pardon themselves? They probably can. Do you think President-elect Trump is going to jail? Because I don't think he's going to go to jail. I know his sentencing is January 10th, but I really don't think that he's going to jail. I don't think he is. And if they do arrest him, like, that's some historical stuff right there. I don't think this has ever been seen in the history of the presidency. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there's been a lot of scandals, with presidents, but right before you get into the White House, they trying to sentence you. I think that's the first time right there. That's a first timer. He's breaking history with that one. Okay. And a lot of people are, and you know what? I wonder if it was personal by that judge, Juan Marchano. I wonder if it was personal, because you know how, Trump was always talking big about, immigration and sending people back and all this stuff like that, right? I wonder if the judge is sticking it to him because it's like a personal thing, I wonder. But I don't feel that President-elect Trump will be locked up. If he is, I would be shocked, but I don't think he will be. A lot of people are eager for him to get into office, but you know what? It almost feels like he's in office just with all of the stuff that he's been talking about and the different moves he's been making. One of the biggest things that he's been talking about is reconnecting countries back to America and making them states. That's one of the biggest things he was talking about. That's going to be a difficult feat if he decides to move forward with that, because he's going to have to get a lot of people on board that even agrees with that. He's going to have to go to all the different countries in South America, and he's going to have to, in Canada, or prime ministers, some of them are called prime ministers and not called presidents. He's going to have to go and talk to those leaders of those countries to see if they would even be on board with reconnecting themselves, because basically what that means is they would no longer be presidents of their countries. They would be, so I guess it would be like a demotion, right? So the current presidents in the other countries in South America and Canada, they would be demoted to like governor or something, right? They would either be the governor of the state. And hello, hi. Do you need help? Or delivery?
Yes.
Okay.
Nada más.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one. So he would have to even see if these leaders in these different countries would even agree with being demoted from president to governor. It would be like a whole change, but I don't think it would be like a crazy change because it's already connected anyway, right? Canada is already connected to us. Mexico is already connected. All of South America is already connected. So I don't think it would be a big change. It would just be a change in government titles. But again, you would have to get those other leaders on board with even doing something like that. Because some of them may like the superiority of being president of Guatemala or president of Mexico or the new first woman president of Mexico, she already basically saying that she's not on board with it. Like she's already fighting against it because I guess she wants to have that status of power and control of being not only the president of Mexico, but the first woman president of Mexico. So, like I said, he's going to have to talk to folks. He's going to have some, but you know what? This is so fascinating to me. Like this is the type of discussions I would want to be in a room for. I would like to see how all of this comes together. Not to mention, he's doing something that no president has done. because a lot of presidents in the past have separated. They did a lot of separating. They did a lot of separating, invading, you know, colonizing, you know what I mean? And some people might say that what Trump is putting forth is colonizing and stuff like that. But I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it like that. I just look at it as him reconnecting all of the Americas. I don't look at it like that. Now, some people might say, oh, you know, it's a dictatorship. He wants to be dictator of all of the territory, and, you know, he wants to be president of all of. I think it's kind of dope. It's interesting. And a lot of people, that's where a lot of the rift was coming from anyway, with Mexico and the US, right? A lot of rift came with the separation. That's why Cinco de Mayo is so important, right? When Mexico was stolen and da 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 da, you know, people, that's why Mexicans celebrate what is it, Cinco de Mayo, right? I don't know. There was just a lot of separation, and he seems like he's just seeking to reconnect it. I don't see anything wrong with that. I would actually like to see how it all plays out, or even if he'll even get far with it, for that matter. But anyway, it's actually a nice day outside, y'all. It's been really cold in the evenings. I'm in Southern California. I don't know where anybody else is on here, but I'm in Southern California, and it gets pretty cold in the evenings. But during the day, for the most part, it's pretty nice. What's going on? It's so funny because people come in and they tell me, Shanda, the police are here. Shanda, the police are on the property or driving around. Shanda, do you know why? I'm like, oh, yeah, assume I know why Popo is here and driving around looking. I don't know. Sometimes people call the Popo. I mean, I don't know. But anywho. It's 1:44. Hey. All right, no worries. Hi, Noah. Hi. All right. And hold on, let me get you this on this. There you go. And there you go. You got it here, you need a new one.
I need a new one.
Okay.
Can I get two, please?
Yes, you can.
No pets?
Only if there's service on this.
Did he just read that? Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, what? Go. All right. So that's the first one.
I did it. It's no pets allowed. You have the pictures from, you have pets for a leash for $100 for 6.
Check you out.
Wow. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You are so smart, Noah. He really read it? This I don't like it.
He's like to look real good though.
Oh, you know what? You know what? That's all right. That's okay.
Good job.
Good job. All right, see you guys. No worries. I love seeing kids read. read. I always joke that he came out with a book in his hand, because ever since he was able to hold the book up, and he's always just been fascinated with books, and he's always holding books up and turning the pages slowly, and like an old man. I call him an old man. I say, you've been here before. You an old man doing all of this, just taking his time. And because when he was younger, he was just kind of looking at the pictures, and I don't know, maybe he was reading. And he was always really good with letters too. So like I said, if my son is not into books right now, if he's not reading, if he don't have a book in front of his face, if he's not, that means the environment that he's in has taken him away from that. And that's unfortunate. So, and the reason why I talk like that is because I'm still looking for my kids. So I don't know what environment they're in, who has them, what's going on. I don't know anything. So, and it's a story behind that. And if you want to know the story behind that, you can look at my playlist folder on this page titled Winter and Laker. And it's some videos in there that talks about just what has been going on with my kids and the ex and all that good stuff. And I also have a GoFundMe page for my kids in regards to seeking an attorney, needing help with seeking an attorney to find my kids. So check out my GoFundMe page. And if you are so willing to donate, it would be much appreciated. But anyway, I always feel like it's a lot. I have a lot going on. And I know I'm not the only one. We all have a lot going on in life, We all have a lot to deal with, and, things that aren't the best, that doesn't feel the best. And it always sucks, like when you have people that just kind of try to dump unnecessary shit on top of you, like for whatever the reasoning is, you know what I mean? And like I'm already dealing with this and this and this and this and this, and then here you come, and here they come, and here that comes, So it's interesting, Or I'm glad that I'm strong enough to fight through most things. I'm also glad that I don't let a lot of stuff get to me. I was trying to help a person detach from like some negative situations, and it just was not working. And I was like, okay, you're not ready yet. You're not ready, never mind. Some people aren't ready to heal. You know what I mean? And to each his own. I believe everybody can heal. I just think they come around to it in their own time. Some people think, oh, once you're 50 and 60, like it doesn't even matter. You're not, your shell has hardened to what it's going to be, and you're never going to change and stuff. But it's like, never say never, because I've seen like 70-year-olds, 80 years old people, who always wanted to finish college, go to college and graduate, whether they die right afterwards or not, or they always wanted to act in a film and they never got a chance to when they were younger because maybe they were raising kids and taking care of family and all that stuff. And then they land a role at like 60 years old and 70 years old, and they fulfill their dream of, you know what I mean? Those are accomplishments, yes, but I look at healing as an accomplishment. It's a great accomplishment because not many people dare to go there. You know what I mean? Some people would kind of just rather, I guess, play victim. Some people would rather just be conditioned, be conditioned to how they are. This one lady, my ex-mother-in-law, actually, she told me she was never changing. She was like, I'm never changing. I'm never changing how I am. And, because there was always a lot of beef in the family because my ex-mother-in-law was I'm not gonna say was, because I don't know if she still is or not. She's been hiding from me ever since she poisoned my daughter. So I haven't seen her and her husband. So I haven't seen them since February 22nd in 2019. That was the day they poisoned my kid or whatever. So ever since then, they just been in hiding. Because believe me, I reached out via phone, email, social media, all kind of shit, asking them why they did what they did to my kid. You know, they never showed up in court, all kind of stuff. But hold on, y'all. Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Are you here to reactivate your card?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I figured. And yep. No worries. Here you go. No worries. How's it going? Yeah. Same to you. So, you know, so there are some elders who feel like their toxic behavior and that it's okay to continue being toxic, whether, you know, it hurts people, like they don't care, you know? And so, yeah, the ex-mother-in-law, I'm never changing. I'm going to be exactly the way I am. Exactly the way I am. So clearly she feels like it's okay with her being the way she is. Hi. What's the matter? I'm just talking about a whole bunch of different stuff. It's been almost an hour now. So I was talking about a nurse that's been breaking the limbs of innocent infants in the NICU in the Henrico, Virginia hospital, talking about President-elect Trump being sentenced January 10th, 10 days before the inauguration. Just talking about a bunch of different stuff. And of course it veers sometimes into personal life, depending on how the conversation is going. But yeah, I'm at work right now. So working and talking. I haven't done a chat at work in a while. I normally wait till after I get off work, but I figured why not? Because maybe I'll go live again later on. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. But anyway, to those who are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to All Baddies Got a Story and check out my other featured channels on this page, por favor. This is my third attempt to go live today. The other two just did not, it just wasn't working out. So I'm glad that I was able to actually get through a live the third time. It's kind of crazy how that happened, but anywho, I might go live again later on. Don't hold me to it though. I appreciate the chat and all that good stuff. Like and subscribe, share the videos. And as usual, I will talk to you guys in the next live. Peace.